Hey there nation, welcome to the show where we help you to play miniatures wargaming on a budget. It is I, Commander Cheapskate, and we are back with another episode of Hobbyside. And on this episode, we are showcasing our studio's 3,000 point Vampire Counts army. And as you can see, it is fully completed now at a full-blown 3,000 points, and it looks absolutely awesome. Now, for those of you guys who are more of astute viewers of our channel, you guys will have noticed that whenever we play the Vampire Counts on this channel for Battle Report, it's always been about the 2,500 point mark. And the reason why is because for the longest time, that was the largest we could actually play with this army. And the reason why is because that's how much we had enough to do a core, to read our core requirements for Vampire Counts. We had just enough to make 650 points worth of core. We didn't really have very much of it. And the reason why is because I just didn't want to paint these four miniatures, these four units right up here in the front. That was the main reason why. I had other projects I wanted to work on at the time. I got impatient to work on those, so because of that, I just kind of put it on the back burner. And so for the longest time, my buddy Scream the Emo, who usually plays Vampire Counts, basically just had to be content with playing at 2,500 points. But since the whole COVID-19 pandemic gave me a lot of time to paint miniatures, I decided to get these four completed, so that way they can join up with the army as well. And as you can see, they look really, really awesome as well. These are 3 units of 5 direwolves with the art, but I have a unit of 5 for spare. That way if I do a summon the creatures of the night ability, so that way I can add more to another unit if I want to. And that's pretty much how it kind of works out for that unit as well. And as you can see, they look absolutely fantastic. They look like they're ghost dogs. Very ethereal looking. In fact, they even glow. And if you're wondering how we got that effect done, it's really simple actually. All you need to do is just base coat your miniatures in white. And then what you need to do is take whatever color you want them to be glowing as. In this case, I wanted blues and greens. All you do is you just take a blue paint of your choice or a green paint of your choice, mix it with water until it's about the consistency of milk, and just slowly add layer on top of layer on top of layer on top of it. All right, and that's basically how you get the look on that. So that carries this kind of like ethereal glowing look. The white undercoat shows through the really thin paint. It makes it look like it's glowing. And if you want to be extra special with it because you want to bring up some further details like I did, all you then do is dry brush it very, very lightly, either the white or really bright gray paint. And then you take another lighter shade of blue or green in this case, and then you mix with water again to the consistency of milk and just slowly add layers upon layers until you're actually happy with it. And that is how you create this ethereal glowing look on your miniatures. The only problem with it is it takes it just takes a lot of patience to do it, because you got to put your layer of glaze on, basically water down paint, let it dry, then come back, add it again, let it dry, and over and over and over again. And it gets kind of boring to do it that way, but that's how you make this ethereal glowing look and make it look really, really awesome at the same time. My only regret is that I didn't do that same technique with my 10 Hex Wraiths, and the same thing with my 10 Black Knights. I decided to do an oil wash on these guys with the Black Knights because they had a lot of metal on them, and I thought it would look really cool, but what it did is also darken down the ethereal look I was going for. So that part was kind of sad. And then same thing with these Hex Wraiths. I got a little ambitious, zealous with the oil wash, and it really darked down their ethereal look as well. So because of that, hindsight's 2020. What I should have done was done exactly the same thing I did for these direwolves onto those Hex Wraiths. And same thing with these direwolves onto those Black Knights, and that way they would have been like 2 glowing cavalry units as well, which would have been really, really nice as well. But I did not do that. Oh well. The nice thing about those, that makes my direwolves really stand out as well, make them look really, really epic at the same time. So that is the cool part about that. Now these direwolves, if you'll notice, they're not really the direwolves from Games Workshop. What they are, they're the wolves of Fenris, or Fenrisian wolves from Warhammer 40,000. And also a box of wargs from the Lord of the Rings. And the reason why I did that is because I like the way these looked a lot more. When I came up with the idea of painting these miniatures, I wanted to create the direwolves, make it look like they were like glowing ethereal, like spiritual hounds, like hellhound type looking things. So I wanted to go with that look, and these looked much more dynamic in their poses and the way they ran. It looked like they're really chasing after you, looked like they're really routing you. And so that was the look I really wanted to go with. And so that's why I bought those miniatures, because it looked really, really awesome as well. Now, if you're wondering about some of the other details about this army, the Black Knights here, if you notice, all the mounts they're riding on are all converted. And the reason why is because when you bought the box set for the Hex Wraiths, you can either make Hex Wraiths, like these guys, or you can make Black Knights. I thought Hex Wraiths looked really, really cool, so I bought those. But the cool thing about that is that you also got the spare bits and bobs to make Black Knights. So you'll notice the barding on the torsos of the horses, as well as the riders, came in the kits. All you need to do is actually find some way to, fit horses on it. So what I did is I just took some spare bits of horses, some dryad limbs to make it look like they're all skeletal remains and stuff, and I just kind of converted some horses for these guys to ride. If you notice, some of these guys are just on the ground. That's because I didn't have anything for them. I just had a horse head and just put it on the ground, make it look like it's coming out of the ground. And I just converted these guys over to make 10 Black Knights is all I did. So you look at it, the conversion job is really, really cool on it. They look all messed up and ate up, and that's fine though, because it just adds the undead look. So I got 2 units of those guys, so it was really, really awesome to make it look like it. To make it look like that, it was really cool. The army also, of course, consists of one huge unit of 40, 40 zombies. I actually have 60 zombies on the battlefield in this picture, but the reason why is because the other 20 are supposed to be in reserve for being summoned up. And it's a combination of Mantic Games' zombies, as well as Games Workshop zombies, as well as some pitchfork-wielding miniatures from a game called Lionheart. It's an old Milton Bradley game. You see, I also got a couple of corpses coming out of the ground as well, because unit fillers are important before it comes to units of zombies. There's my Nestor Necromancer. That's the Gauntfield character from Reaper Mini. And same thing with my other little Necromancer, the Shovel there. That's the Mr. Sinister, I think his name is, from Reaper Mini as well. The army also contains 49 Crypt Ghouls, which is a combination of Mantic Games' ghouls with Games Workshop ghouls, led by my Struggle Ghoul King, as you can see here, Marduk von Koss, the Baron of Drakenfels. This unit here is called the Balefire Carnival. The zombie unit of 40 is going to be called the Walking Dead of San Reme. These 15 of these wolves, anyways, will be the Hounds of Tindalos, with 5 more reserved in order to summon up some more if I wanted to. The Black Knights are called the Ghost Knights of Vergun. And then, of course, we have our 2 units of 5 Hex Wraiths. We got the Mask of the Black Death, the Mask of the Red Death. And those guys look really awesome as well. And then finally, the back of our Monstrous Infantry. As you can see, these are owlbears made by Reaper Mini. These can either be ran as Vargeists, or they can be ran as Crypt Horrors. More than often than not, I've been running them as Crypt Horrors. Same thing with these 3 Frog Demons. They're also made by Reaper Mini. I'm running these guys either as Crypt Horrors, or I can run as Vargeists. Either way I want to look at it. And then we have my homemade Coven Throne conversion. So you can see we got our 3 Vampiresses on this Mage Wrath Throne is what it's called by Games Workshop. All it is glued it onto a base to make it look like it was, a larger base. And that's how I created the Coven Throne. These Skeleton Warriors are actually from Reaper Mini to make it look like they're like the Ghost Spectral guys that kind of drag this throne around. Looks like it's hovering above the ground as well. And I took the female Vampiric Riders and just put them on top of it to make it look really cool. This is, oh yeah, by the way, that lady's name is Rabina, the Baroness of, Rabina von Koss, the Baroness of Drakenfels. That's the name of this thing. And then, of course, we have Volkar, the Beast of Blutwald, which is my homemade Terrorgeist. It's actually made from an incomplete dragon miniature. I had the torso missing the neck, had the head, arms and legs, and 1 wing of a dragon miniature. I managed to rummage up. I just couldn't find a neck portion or another wing. So because I just added some green stuff, make it look like it was all messed up and dead, and that created Volkar, the Beast of Blutwald. Looks really, really awesome and super scary. Another conversion job. And then, of course, we have the Calliope of Chaos, which is one of my favorite miniatures in this army. The Calliope of Chaos, of course, is a Mortis engine. Just a very cool miniature overall. Looking back, though, I should have painted up the ethereal spirit hosts and the banshees like I did my wolves for my dire wolves. I didn't do that, though, because I was overzealous at the oil washing in that time period, and so it's a little bit darker than I intended. But that's okay, though. Hindsight's 2020, because after, like I always say, a painted miniature, regardless of its quality, is always better than gray plastic. Just like the Midwinter Minis guys always say. Or is it Midwinter Minis, or is it... I forgot what YouTuber it is. He does paint tutorials. He says that a lot. That miniatures of any center is better than gray plastic. I forgot his name. But yeah, he looks really, really good as well. Then, of course, we've got Rolling Bones, my corpse cart. And this was a lot of fun to paint as well. Really, really cool. So there you guys have it. 3,000 points of vampire counts. Actually at 3,000 points now. This is House von Koss, our 3,000 point vampire count army. And I'm really, really happy with the way it came out. I'm just satisfied now that it's fully fielded at 3,000 points. That way this army can play in the big leagues now, in the ground leagues, with its other brothers and sisters in combat. So I'm really looking forward to see exactly how all 3,000 points really perform on the battlefield when the time comes. So yeah, that's going to do it for this one, you guys. As always, please feel free to like, comment, and or subscribe. Your guys' input is invaluable to us as always. Also check us out on Facebook, Instagram, as well as blogger.com for all the latest, greatest hobby news related to this channel. That's going to do it for this one, you guys. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out and stay classy, you guys.